Going live. And we are live. What is up,
Hello,
our
hello.
viewer?
Hi, honey.
My name's Danny.
And
This is
I'm
Mom.
Angie. Nice to see everybody.
And welcome to the first official live tuning in of Read the Clue Recaps. That intro's so fun.
No,
I'm
I
like-
need you to take the picture of me on the ground out of that intro.
hey, sounds good. Well, maybe next week with the commercials, we can replace it with you in the sky.
There you
So,
go.
But oh dang, well, we made it to leg 3. So
Barely.
fun. I know, not barely. We got 6th place. What are you talking about, Mom? We killed
No,
it.
we got 9th place last night.
Oh, true. Well, last night we got 9th place, but the day before we got 6th. And yeah, I guess we can just talk about, like, we flew into Colombia, the next location, and it was beautiful. I remember flying in and seeing the mountains and seeing the Colombian flag and be like, all right, this is the amazing race. Like, it has officially started. This is awesome.
And I flew in wondering what the weather was like. Was it going to be hot and humid or a little cooler?
That is true. And it was a beautiful day that day. It actually was like warm, but not too warm.
It wasn't too humid
at all. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a good day until we get put in the van, we get all mic'd up, and then we drive. And we arrive at this giant rock. And Mom, what went through your mind?
I just looked at Danny and went, really? Really? Again? Because I knew nobody knew yet what we were doing. And I knew exactly what we were doing. So I knew we had those beautiful stairs in front of us and that was more challenge ahead.
Which is fun. Also, hello, Mary. Thanks for tuning in. Saying, and Ricky and Cesar. Y'all are great. This is fun live. It's like, oh, people can interact with us.
But I just want to talk to everybody. So hurry, let's recap so we can talk to people.
True. So we see the rock, and immediately in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm glad we're in the second group because I'm glad we have a head start. We have a 15-minute head start. And I think there's a confessional of, like, we talked about, like, physical might not be our strength. And so we have to be intentional and going slow during the physical, but making it up in the other aspects of the race.
Okay, I just have to point this out. Watching those other teams, the first group go up, it was a struggle for them too. So I felt like, hey, we held our own. We held our position pretty good. So I didn't feel like that was as hard a day physically, even though we had all those stairs, as Puerto Vallarta. So I felt it was a little easier.
Yeah. Agreed. Like, the stairs, like, wasn't bad. Now we switched. You saw you don't have a backpack anymore.
Right. That's probably why it was a little easier. Danny and I have now gotten smarter because we had quite a little lecture in the hotel about me telling Danny we are going to do this smarter, not harder anymore. And he immediately volunteered to take my pack. And I went, oh, that's smarter.
But we had talked about before the race, like, watching racers recap of, like, we wanted to do a 1-bag strategy. Like,
Danny did. And I was like, no, I want my own bag.
Yeah. Mom was like, I want to carry my own bag.
Like, that was on me.
But I made sure to get a bigger backpack that Mom's bag could fit in. So we didn't throw away her backpack. We just packed her bag.
My backpack weighed 14 pounds. And Danny's, I think when we waited at the airport, was like 22 pounds. So he's now carrying about 36, almost 40 pounds.
Mine, it was
Wasn't it?
26 combined.
Okay. Oh, well, then
Yeah,
that's better. I thought,
which
okay. Very cool.
not too bad. But
Yeah.
what was our strategy? So we get to the stairs. What's our strategy going up the stairs? Because at first I'm like, Mom, only
Oh,
500 more to go.
I
Only
could have killed
400
Danny.
more to go.
Well, there was a little part of us that thought we had to count them. And if I remember right, and I didn't know this about Ricky and Cesar. So Ricky, if you're on there, were you carrying a clicker? It looked like somebody was clicking the number of stairs. And I'm like, genius, because I couldn't think. So Danny's counting the stairs, and then he's saying it out loud to me, Mom, you only have 400 to go. And I finally said, the cameramen are literally like, Danny, you shouldn't be doing that. And I finally said, son, stop telling me how many stairs left I have to go. That is not helping me. So yes, see, I knew Vicky and Cesar had a counter because they're way smart. So
Which is funny. And then once Mom said that, I was like, all right, let's take it in sets of 50. So we were like, we're gonna do 50 stairs. And then after take 50 stairs, it was like, all right, we take a little quick 10, 15-second break. And then we do 50 stairs.
I have to say something about the break too. So I am not a heights person. And Danny, there was this one kind of platform that was kind of over the edge. And Danny on the break said, oh, Mom. And he knows I'm not a heights person. Mom, come over here and look at this view. And the cameraman knew I wasn't a heights person. And once again, they're busting a gut because I'm looking at him going, what are you? I mean, I wanted to be like Sean, just way over to the side. I didn't want to see what was over. And Danny's like, oh, come look at this view. I'm like, no, let's just keep climbing. So anyways, I thought once in a while my son forgets who I am, I think. So, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was like one of the most beautiful views I think I have ever seen. Like I was sitting there going like, we are so blessed. Like I'm looking out right now and this is like the most incredible sight. And I'm like, Mom, you gotta see this. But she didn't want to see it. She just wanted to get to the top. But we get to the top. It tells us to go down. We got to the top in about, I want to say it was 13 or 14 minutes because as we were coming back down, the other group hadn't left yet. But by the time we got to the ground, we could see other teams and which way they were going and who they asked for directions. And so I saw Vinny and Amber ask for directions from a guy, and I went straight to that guy when we got to the bottom and asked him the same directions and was like, hey, can we get the same directions you just gave them? And so
they were good directions.
They were. Here, I'll show a little. Here was the first kind of route info. So after we got down the stairs, it was from the rock to this like Aguas Abiertas, which was a boat company that had all of our boats. And so there were two ways. You could go to the left, which kind of had you squiggling back down, or you could go the faster way, which was to the right.
And it was a road, so we could run it.
Yep. And we did. Like we walked in Puerto Vallarta because it was like, hey, it's hot, but in this leg we were back to running. So but then we get to the boats. Also, we have a question in the chat. Logan asks, how much chatter was there on the amazing plane from Puerto Vallarta to Guatape? Did anything impact the strategy of this round / could you discuss on the plane? I think to answer that a little bit, like we couldn't, like we had handlers sitting with us, keeping us from talking. Like the only
I was sleeping, Logan.
Yeah, the only things that we could really talk about was like if we wanted to play like games of like we had a Sudoku book, which you saw fall out of Shalisa's backpack. So we had some crosswords we could do. We played some tic-tac-toe. Like
Danny was creating puzzles for people on the plane too, with permission.
So some fun stuff. So there are some fun memories and it was really fun. So, but back to the boats, our first drama of the episode. So I go up and I'm like, who's the fastest? Who's the fastest? Who's the fastest?
And a guy raises his hand and Danny's too nice to say, no, thank you, when he points out his boat, which is probably the smallest motored boat there. I don't notice. I'm just like following him around. And this is the last time you're going to see me following him around, I think. my mental capacity changes a little bit after this race, where I start taking a little bit more of a role, I think. But yeah, so he jumps in the boat. And it's the dinkiest boat of the whole thing. I'm like, seriously, smallest motor. My husband even rolled over and said, "Why did you pick that boat when there were two other boats with bigger motors sitting next to you?"
Uh-huh. And so we end up getting out into the water, and the boat's engine does not turn on. And mom, you're freaking out. Like,
Well, Danny's
mom's
like, "Oh, this is an amazing race thing. Cool. If we go out this way, we go out." And I'm like, I just walked however many stairs. I had heat stroke yesterday. This is not how I'm going out. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then the team started passing us, and I was starting to just kind of get ticked. And Danny was being very gracious. I was trying to be very gracious because our poor driver, he was sick. He really was. He was doing everything he could. And there was nothing, completely out of control.
Uh-huh. And I was sitting there going like, as a super fan, people's vehicles break down all the time. And my mindset was like, this is hilarious that it's happening to us. I was like, I'm getting the full Amazing Race experience. Our vehicle is breaking down. Now, had we gotten eliminated that day, I would have been like, what a bummer. But we thankfully didn't. And now I get to mark my bingo card, Amazing Race, have been on a vehicle that breaks down. So,
And
but
that was
then
a mark I didn't need.
true. But once we started, like, it was beautiful. So here's a little bit of
It
the,
was.
like, path. Like, it was about a 30-minute boat ride, just gorgeous, like, looking around the sights. Now, was I panicking the whole time that our engine would stutter again? Yes, but
Yeah,
it
because you
was
see the other teams really enjoying the moment. We were not, because we literally were listening to our boat the whole time. Yeah.
yeah. But I
It was
remember us
stressful.
pulling up to the dock, and there's the clip of Kishore and Karishma are behind us,
And I
and
was
you
so
were like
mean. Danny, I mean, seriously, beautiful girls. Why wouldn't Danny want to wait for them? And there's mom going, no, let's move. I don't, and I love these girls. These are my girls. I love everyone on our team. But I knew that those girls could decimate me in a foot race. And I'm like, what are you doing? I need every help I can get. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And so for me, it's like we can help people where we can help people. And I was like, if we can work together to find the location together. Now, are Kishore and Karishma the best navigators? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think that is something that I have found that I have been decent at so far in the race. And so I realized like maybe it's good to keep navigational skills to ourselves. But we get to cooking challenge, which is a detour. We choose the cooking because the other one was a physical challenge, and right.
And we're learning. We're learning. Smarter, not harder. Finally.
Uh-huh. And you can see it was about a 6-minute walk to the Zocolos, and then it was about a 5-6 minute walk also to the motors.
We must have
So
gone up a couple wrong streets then, because I don't remember it being 6 minutes. I remember it being like 30. Yeah. Okay. I just remember everything being way more than it was.
yeah, it was pretty quick. We found it pretty quickly.
Okay.
And so but then you get to cooking. And let's talk about cooking. So
Nah,
I
nah.
work for a university campus where I'm grateful to get a meal plan. I have been at a college campus all my life with a meal plan. Have I cooked meals in my life? Maybe mac and cheese and maybe some like spaghetti. But do I know how to fry an egg?
I
Nope.
don't think we need to say anything else. Except that we might have had a few moments in the kitchen, so that I was snarky, and I was really happy they didn't edit, or they edited them out, because I probably wasn't very nice to my sweet son. So, but he tried. It was pouring rain by then, and literally water's dripping into our pots. That they don't show that. They actually don't show. By the time we got there, it was just kind of a hot mess, and all our stuff was wet, and the grease did pop out at you. Oh my gosh! I watched Cesar and Ricky, and I was just like, I wanted to be them, because they just boom like that. And
They were
literally
done.
Shane and Juan were next to us, and I think
Yeah.
I had to reach over to Shane and go, "How do you fry an egg?" That was humiliating. because I scramble up my eggs. We don't eat fried eggs at my house. Oh, my husband does, but he cooks his own. So yeah, but we finally got it.
Yeah, what they don't show is we went through multiple eggs. Like we
Yeah.
got
And went to the judges twice.
to get more eggs because it said like when you run out of ingredients, go to the judges and get more ingredients. And so we had to keep going back and forth. It just was funny. I was nervous because I feel like this is a leg of the race where I'm like, oh, I'm snappy with mom, or like we get in a little argument, and
We were
clearly
both exhausted
because it was probably not a big argument at all. It was just like,
we were
mom,
just
this
a
is
little
how I
snappy.
but it was pouring rain, which they don't show. Like it just started pouring, and they were getting covers for us. We pulled out our rain jackets, but we end up finishing, and we're in 9th place at this point. I realize I see Sean and Michelle, don't see the twins. So I think that there's a chance that we are battling for last place again. And so
that's the theme of our life. Oh.
battling for last place, or thinking we're battling for last place.
Yes.
So, but the tuk-tuk ride was really, really fun.
It was. And another bingo card item for Danny. It's like, we're in a tuk-tuk. And we were all pretty excited about that.
It was awesome. It was like colorful. The driver was really fun. Here, I have and it was a long ride. So it was about probably 30 minutes in a tuk-tuk to this Casa Loma. But just so fun. We were talking to the driver. We were having fun. We were enjoying the sights. Like there were some really, really fun moments in the tuk-tuk, but we didn't have to push our tuk-tuk. You saw in some of the clips, there were some hills, and other people had to push their tuk-tuks, but
nope. We just zoomed right up.
And then we got bless you. But then we got to the Casa house, and it's the coffee beans, and it's who's ready to pick. And why, Mom, did we choose you?
Oh, because I have a friend. My friend Heidi lives in town, and we go picking blueberries in the summer. And I thought, oh, this sounds lovely. I thought it was relaxing and nice, and I just needed a moment. So I was like, okay. And it was my turn because I had been so sick, Danny had already done 2 roadblocks. So I knew I had to catch up too. So I did the pick the coffee beans. Little did I know it was on a cliff, literally on a cliff for me. Yeah, lovely. So I put my feet up against a tree and blocked myself, and I kept sliding down. Oh, we were all a hot, muddy mess after that one. So. And I sat there and picked a little longer than everybody else, but I enjoyed myself.
I was sitting there freaking out. I was like, all right, Mom. Yeah. All right, Mom. All right,
and
I need you to
hear him freaking out
a little faster, because we were there for an hour and a half. Like it was a hot minute, but Mom was enjoying herself.
I had a moment, I'm telling you. And I finally just told Danny, go take a nap, son, because he was interrupting my blueberry time. My coffee time. No, what people didn't see and what Danny didn't see is sitting behind, we had to crank our coffee. And in all honesty, what took me so long is I'd bring my coffee beans down and my coffee crank was broken. And they wouldn't let me switch. So my coffee beans were coming out the back end instead of the front end. So they were landing on the ground. And it was like taking me twice as long to weigh mine. So finally, on the last one, I was like, I am not going back up that hill again. Danny's getting very stressed. I know that. And I scooped up all of my coffee beans from the ground, all of them, because we had to clean them out. And I put everything that had landed on the ground in my thing. And instead of going back up and picking more, I just decided to clean everything that I had. And that got me to my 1.0. So I would have done it a lot earlier had I thought to just pick up all the stuff that I dropped, but I didn't know if I could. So, and they said I could. So,
yeah. And when Mom finished, like I was with Michelle and Sean, and I really thought it was us versus them because I didn't see the twin. Mary asked, "Did you get to enjoy a nice cup of coffee as a reward?" I'm a tea drinker, so I actually do not drink coffee. Mom, you're not.
I don't drink coffee either, but I did try coffee. I did try coffee on this race, and just with some milk, but it was just a little bit. I'm not a big coffee fan, Mary. So yeah, my family are huge coffee people, and they were like, "You're in the best place ever." And I'm like, sorry. So
Yeah. So, but we finished the roadblock and we make it up to Phil, and Phil goes, "Hey, you're ninth." And I was a little like, I was like, ninth, like, okay, we're at the back of the pack. We're going to be starting in the last group the next day. And I think part of me, I was like, we're going to be this amazing team on the Amazing Race. We're going to be,
we were
but
humbled.
yeah, it was just like a fun day and we learned a lot. And it was just a beautiful, classic, Amazing Race day. And I went, wow, I am so thankful for this. But talking about that, like just another example of like so grateful that Christ gave us this opportunity. We're going to talk a little bit about our verse of the legs of the real clue. So every morning we woke up and kind of just like we're intentional with scripture, like thanking God for the opportunity that we have. So, Mom, do you want
But
to
I want
read?
to share where this one comes from. So while we were gone, my brother, who's a pastor in Paulsbo, was praying for us every day, and our family was praying for us. But my brother sent these verses to my phone, of which I did not get to see until I came home, and to Danny's phone. And these were the verses that we got to see when we arrived home. And this was the one that matched that day, which was it was so beautiful how faithful the Lord was, just giving my brother what to pray over us. So do you want me to read it, Danny, or do you want to?
Yeah, sure. It says, I lift my eyes to the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. And just funny that it was like this giant rock and like we were
And we're
surrounded
lifting our
by
eyes up.
them.
And we both did think about that. The Lord
Yeah.
is going to take us through this day in
Yeah.
any which way he wants to.
And so just really cool. Just like a grateful reminder that like, hey, God's going to be faithful and like he is where we get our help from. And he is someone that we are able to rely on when things
And
are hard.
sometimes his faithfulness isn't necessarily look like what we think it should. Like we didn't come in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth. We came in ninth, but he was still faithful.
Yeah. So cool. Well, that's our real clue of the day. Now we're moving on some tips for some future racers. All right. Number one, get context clues before roadblocks. If you are watching this, when we got up to the hill, before we opened our clue, I went, this is a roadblock. And I was like, let's look around the area to see if we can see what the roadblock is. We were able to see people picking berries. And I went, this is a picking berry challenge, coffee beans. And so when you can get context, like the face painting last, you could get context. And I would say that's a really, really important thing to help
decide who's going to do it.
Yeah. Number two, your vehicle matters. Here's the thing.
Not the volunteer who says I can drive fastest.
You went up and I was just like, who drives fastest? But what I could have done is looked around at the different boats and there was a pontoon. There were speed boats. And I could have been like, who drives this boat? We want that driver. But instead I just was like, who drives fastest? The vehicle matters. One, make sure they know where they're going. Like you saw Ricky and Cesar, the first tuk-tuk driver, they asked them, hey, do you know where you're going? Before they got in the car with them. Just like you should check your vehicle to make sure the vehicle knows
where it's going.
Uh-huh. So, and then the last one is to take notes during the roadblock. Almost every season of The Amazing Race has a memory challenge some point in The Amazing Race. Roadblocks that are a time where one of your partners has downtime. Take notes. Write your clues because the second you cross the finish line, all of your clues get taken away. So if you want to take notes, utilize your roadblock.
Carry a little journal.
So even if it's fun for memories and stuff at the end.
And draw pictures. Not just take notes, but draw pictures and make points of references around you. So you remember where things are.
Yep. So we were drawing the tuk-tuk and everything. And so cool. Well, we got one more fun slide before we invite our first guest on, which is the social media slide. So we had some fun little tweets that we saw. So Mom, do you
I
want
have to tell you, I was visiting with a friend last night online while we were watching, and it was just like, you're stressing me out.
I think we're doing that with the boat breaking down and just having fun. But yep, I love Walla Walla, but they give me so much anxiety. Number 2 made me laugh. Danny is so smiley, perky, and G-shucks that I can't help wondering if he's a secret sociopath. I don't think I am.
Psychopath.
Oh, true.
Nope, he
Can I read
generally
English?
is. He is one of the most positive people I've ever met in my entire life. Trust me, he truly is.
So,
And that's because he has the love of the Lord in his
yeah,
heart.
absolutely. We love them, Mom. No, Danny, we got to go. And then the last part is, nope, that's not helpful. That's just pressure. And Mom tells me to take a
Take a
nap.
nap. And I'm going to tell you, as soon as I said that online last night, my whole family is like texting me because nobody lives with us. So everyone's like, take a nap. So that's the new line when we get mad at each other. Go just take a nap. So.
Which is awesome. But, well, thanks for joining us, y'all, for the Angie and Danny recap portion. But now, like each week, we want to just invite some guests on just to talk about Amazing Race and how cool of an experience this is. And so I am grateful that we have a winner of the Amazing Race, but also someone that I consider a friend and have known before both of our Amazing Race debuts. So, bringing onto the stage, welcome, James Wallington.
Hi. Hey, Danny. How's
Hi,
it going?
James.
Angie, it's so nice to meet you.
You too. And you're just such a cheerleader, my friend. Thank you so much.
Forever and always. I just appreciate the joy the two of you bring to the show. And it's just, again, a joy to watch the two of you.
Oh,
Well,
thank you
thanks.
so
That's
much.
Christ in us, because there's some days that we're not feeling, or
Yeah.
moments we're not feeling very joyful.
I
Not that you can relate to that,
texted
James.
Danny today, and I was like, there was moments in the episode where like I feel like internally I was feeling like this stress. I could feel it, what he was feeling. He was always like, I'm fine, everything's great. And it was just fun and relatable to watch.
Yeah, it was the mom getting a little frustrated with her child.
Yeah. But honestly, so grateful to get to do it with Mom. And like James, it's been so fun to tune in also after this.
Yes.
James has his podcast with Kayla and the Twins and Twins, but the pit stop, I've been following that for a while, but really excited to watch that and have been grateful for your kind comments.
Of
Yes,
course. I'm just so excited to watch you live out your dream. I just relate to you so much in that regard. And to be able to finally live it is such an incredible experience. And to be able to share it with your mom is like so unique and so special. And I'm just proud of you. It's really cool to watch.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of
Well,
course.
we do have some fun questions. Also, yes, Mary, super fan versus super fan. I have seen the memes about there might have to be a super fan battle sometime in the future.
I am not racing with James Wallington. I've seen how he gets people to turn on people.
Angie, now you calling me out like that.
It's
Only
okay.
if I get to be on your team, James. You and I against Danny and whoever. So
Deal.
So funny. Well, James, some fun questions for you, but you got to do the race. What was your favorite part of being on the Amazing Race?
Yeah, I mean, besides being able to do it with Will, of course, I think the best part about the experience is honestly the community that it brings. I think I really underestimated just what that looked like post show. I think more so in the recent seasons too, the casting has been incredible where we're able to walk away from the show and forge these really strong friendships and relationships. And that extends beyond just like our seasons, which has been a blast. I mean, I'm a super fan, as you know, and so being able to like mix and mingle with people from different seasons, especially like the earlier seasons, it's just been a wild ride. And that's just been the best part, I think, post show that I just never anticipated.
I was gonna say, did you expect that at all? Like y'all?
No,
yeah,
not at all. Even like when we were filming our season, the producers were all like, "This is a weird group," and we were always like, "Why?" And like, you guys are way too friendly with each other. Like we're hanging out in airports, we're playing Uno, like. we're competitive when it's race mode. Like we're willing to like do whatever we need to like get ahead. But when we're not, it was like that camaraderie was there. And I just wished it translated more on the show because there's so much downtime with teams and the relationships and the bonds that come out of that. It goes beyond just what you see in like a 60 or 90-minute episode of the show.
And James, I'd say that's where you're pretty lucky that you had downtime with teams that we didn't get, right? Because of the COVID. But the nice thing about ours waiting a year to air, right?
Yes.
We had a year to visit and grow and, love on these teams and go to each other's states. And so you're right. Having those precious friendships were pretty amazing. Although I think we clicked pretty quickly as a team too. I don't know, Danny, what do you think?
Well, the funny thing is there's only one season that's had to wait longer than us. And it was James.
That's right.
But I can relate to what you're saying is, you only have your cast to really kind of lean on to be like, did it really happen? Right. Is it ever going to air? Like you only have each other to really go through that experience with, and that even makes that connection stronger. Right. And you're able to forge relationships that go beyond just a competitiveness. It's actual deep friendships that you don't really get in the moment of the race because it is so fast paced. So as long as the waiting period was, and as frustrating as it was a blessing in disguise, I think.
Yeah. And I remember, and like something that's so cool about you is like you are a very intentional person. And I remember you putting on game nights for your cast, and like you're someone who brought people together, which is so cool. And I still see that about you now. But I remember I got invited on as a fan to play Among Us with your season cast.
You
and
did.
And I got a phone call going, Mom. I'm so excited.
Oh, but it was so funny. Just looking back on that, I was looking back on that and I was like, wow. And 4 years later,
who would have thought?
Yep. So cool. Well, question number 2, as a super fan, what do you think would be a cool twist or maybe a new location or something that they could add to the race that would spice things up?
Okay, so I'm actually going to take this from Omar from Survivor 42. He tweeted this twist, and I actually think it would be really interesting where every team starts off with an express pass. So it's an even playing field from the very beginning, but an express pass can only be played once. I don't know if it was on a leg or at one task. Like you can't have multiple people playing it. So once someone already plays the express pass for that task, nobody else can. So it's very strategic. And like, when do you play it, or do you end up playing it so it screws another team because they're not going to do well, and they're going to play their express pass, so you want to play yours to block them. I just feel like it would add this other layer to just how the teams race and keeping them on their toes that I think would be really interesting.
And it wouldn't necessarily create bad feelings, because if I'm using the express pass because I'm going to fail, it's about me. It's not about me trying to hurt somebody else. It's about me getting ahead.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And knowing when to play it.
So someone like me that's like ultra sensitive about being mean is like, okay, I could do this. So I couldn't U-turn anybody. Danny's like, oh yeah, I'm U-turning people.
So
we'll surprise yourself.
I know. We'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens if a U-turn pops up. Who gets the final say? So that's a really unique idea. It also makes me think of like you'd have shuffling with who gets first.
Yeah.
Like it would create more space for different people to get first. But you have people that'll probably save it, because they're like, we're going to use this at a later leg because that's when it's going to matter. And then they go out with their express pass.
You're right, though. It would kind of shake up the placements a little bit, especially with the recent seasons. I feel like we've all been kind of bunched up. So it feels like an equalizer every leg to some extent. So being able to have that could get someone from the back of the pack just the extra edge they need to like get to the front and then maintain that lead. So I don't know. I love that idea. Omar, great thinking. Credit to you, but I would love to see it implemented.
Shout out to Omar 42 of Survivor. Mom actually fun Survivor little thing. Mom got to have lunch with the Survivor player today.
I just had Starbucks with Wentworth, Mr. Dale Wentworth. So
Oh,
that was super
fun.
Yeah, and his wife, they're celebrating 32 years of marriage, and they came to Walla. So,
Wow.
yeah, that was really, really fun.
That's
So,
awesome.
anyways, yeah.
Shout out to the Wentworth family. So fun. So cool. Well, final question for you, James. What has like being part of the Amazing Race family meant to you?
Well, like I think I touched on it a little bit. It's just that sense of community, right? Like I feel like it's a family, a sorority, a fraternity, however you want to look at, that's like so unique and kind of exclusive to be a part of in a way, because not everyone gets to experience this. Only we will ever understand what it was like to go through and live the Amazing Race. So to have that camaraderie and to have that support of each other has been incredible, especially like, are you guys on the alumni group on Facebook?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. I'll invite you guys, because in there, it's always nice to see alumni post like, I have this coming up, or like, if you can support me here. And just like that continued support system has been just really, really refreshing. Cause I honestly don't feel like you really get that from other shows, where the race is very unique in that way. Cause it really is about relationships at the core of it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
I agree.
Well, James, where can people find you on social media / what fun projects do you have coming up?
Yeah, on Twitter at James Wallington, on Instagram at Where's Wallington. And honestly, not a lot of crazy projects, just enjoying recapping this season and watching the two of you. And I have Kayla joining me, my bestie from the Challenge USA, and we're having a blast recapping together. And yeah, tonight we'll have the twins and Haley and Kaylin, one of the most beloved teams, I feel like, in Amazing Race, joining us. And it's just going to be a party. It'll be fun.
What time, James? Tell us.
It'll
what
be
time.
at 9 p.m. Eastern, so 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Okay.
And live, right?
Yes, it will be live.
So tune in. But James, so grateful that you've been part of our Amazing Race journey, and can't wait to see how it continues. So
of course, I cannot wait to see how you two do. We're rooting for you both. And just again, so proud of you, Danny. It's just a joy to watch you live out your dream.
Cool. Well, enjoy the day. See you later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, James. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Oh, so fun. Let me text the twins.
See if they're there. They'll be like, dude, hop on. So fun story for us. Danny wasn't with us, but my husband and I went to Florida in October, and we actually got to go visit the twins, who have the biggest hearts of gold in the world. So it was really special to hang out, and we didn't get much time, but yeah, these guys are fun people.
They're awesome. Like Anthony and Bailey, just like you got to see them on the show, but so fun.
And I always have to remember, Anthony is the one with the sleeve on the arm, and Bailey's the one with the sleeve on the leg, right?
Yes. How to differentiate the two of them. So
yeah,
it's fun.
Because even when you're with them all the time, it was a little difficult. I mean, eventually you figure it out, but yeah.
True. Well, super excited. They were an awesome team on the race. Super fun. I see Anthony in the background right now. We're waiting for Bailey. What up, Anthony? So fun.
Let him in.
Okay, we'll let him in together.
Why?
Okay, sure, Anthony, you can come in.
Hey,
what's up, guys? Thanks for having us. Well, me so far.
Well, you at least, right? So
yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully the other guy shows up.
True. Hey, there's the other guy.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
Look at the team Walla.
No, I worked all day yesterday.
I think he slept in it too.
I've been sick a couple days, so probably.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, so are you guys on a new project? Are you building something new these days?
At the very moment, no. We are
okay.
kind of enjoying this roller coaster as it is.
Yep.
There's always something upcoming.
Well,
Yeah,
I was
we'll
just
get-
shouting out that Dan and I got to go visit you guys, and they're some of the most talented guys. They flip some homes, and man, they have a eye for class and just doing awesome things. So I think they're working on my retirement trailer as we speak right now. Right, guys?
Yeah. Yeah, we actually have a couple in the works for you. We'll let you pick your favorites. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Just get
so much.
Get
It's so-
the animals away. So get all the
yeah,
animals away.
right.
Dang, how's the day been for the two of you? Have y'all been doing lots of stuff today?
Yeah, we've been busy today. We've been talking a lot about the race and just everything going on, and I guess life now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very busy, and you're having a time of your life. I love your pictures. So,
Oh, thank you.
gosh.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
And you guys are going to New York, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to the finale, so we have to see you guys there. But hopefully, there's a photo
Absolutely.
booth again, so we can do all that.
True.
Yeah.
Get some fun photos, but
Yeah.
it's been a blast. Like I know you two were like part of our journey. Like I talked about of like, yeah, we got to foot race to the very first match against each
I think
other.
they gave that to me.
You smoked us, Angie.
For gasping
I
for
think
air
they
at
ran
one
a little
point,
slower.
still beat us. So
She's a zoomer. When she wants to
Yeah.
zoom, she goes.
I
Right.
honestly that day didn't even know who was behind me. Right? Danny just said, "No, there's a team behind you. Run." I was like, "Okay."
That's all you can
So-
do, right?
That's it. Oh
Sure.
man.
And then we got to share Matt too together, and that was just like a fun, emotional, like really cool moment to share with the both of you. And but it's been a blast. But
just another beautiful moment together.
Yes.
Exactly.
I know
Many more
I
to
was
come.
Be careful,
True.
Danny might cry.
no. Thanks, Bob.
Today,
You might get me.
Sorry.
Dang.
Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
boys, we got some fun questions for you, just to like recap and just highlight your experience. But did y'all have a favorite moment? Like, what was y'all's favorite moment on being part of the race?
And it doesn't have to be the same favorite moment.
Okay. I know it's kind of a general one, but like just meeting everyone, I think like doing the whole, like, I think when we got to, as soon as we got there and kind of got to see everybody and just get to meet people, here and there as we could, like that was just the most exciting part. And obviously I think the chartered plane was also one of my cooler experiences besides seeing the whole,
I know that's not like
really-
favorite thing, but like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would have to say the same. I know it's so broad, but just to meet all of you, like we have family now for the rest of our lives. Like that's so awesome. Like we all got put like here together for like season 36, and we went through what we did together. I mean, you guys a little, longer than us, but
Hey, at least one episode, so
Yeah.
we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
guaranteed.
Yep. But God, what a great experience. I'm here with you guys today. I mean,
Oh, it's awesome.
I have a great memory of you guys. The night we were in Puerto Vallarta and we had the verandas,
Oh, yeah.
And that was just fun. But we kind of could hear your voices and you could hear ours. So
It
we
was
might have
so
peeked
funny.
over the
We
edge.
were hotel rooms right next to each other, and I remember like we were just sticking our heads out, and I think it was Bailey was like, "Bro, let's go down to the pool right now. Let's hurry." And I was like,
I'm like,
these
"You
two are
can't do that."
troublemakers. They're gonna get us in trouble. Like,
right now we can catch a few hours at the pool, baby. At
Yeah.
least like 30.
And I really thought they all might go do it. I was like half awake all night. It was like the boys are gonna escape tonight.
Well, I still enjoyed the view so much with you guys. So
Yeah,
that was one of my favorit memories as
I
well.
remember waking up so early that morning, just looking at you guys from across. We're like,
Yep. It's still early. I remember hearing the hairdryer going or something. That might have been us. I think, we were
Oh,
still
yeah.
drying our socks off or something.
Mine just went up in a hotel and we called it good. So yeah.
getting the luscious locks ready to go.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
So,
That's
that is
funny.
so fun. I forgot about that. The iguanas. That was a nice hotel.
I want
That
to
was.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
Maybe
you
we
guys
should all
have a
go back.
favorite? Did you guys have a favorite challenge that you did? Which at physical? Because you guys are so physical. I mean, come on, you are okay. So, which physical challenge? Because everything we did was physical those first few days. So, what was your favorite on that?
Mine personally was watching Anthony just just, like kill the lassos. He absolutely like I couldn't even like
That's right.
ag down and like take a sip of water and like catch my breath for a second. I'm already getting yelled at production that he's done to go. Like I didn't even have a second. I didn't even get to watch it. Like my back was was turned to him while he did it. He did it so fast.
Oh wow!
I thought for
Good
the
job.
week.
Thank you. That was a really fun one for me too. I didn't think I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I just kind of blinked and we were already through it. But another one, I think my favorite, it's kind of where we ended at the picking coffee beans. I mean, it was bittersweet, but like the location itself was just that was awesome. And I liked the view was cool and
that.
But what they didn't show on TV was it was absolutely, if I remember right, when we were all there, it was pouring rain.
Yeah.
So
I remember just slipping in that mud and being covered in it too.
All day.
Yeah. My shirt's still stained. It's still covered in mud. So
yeah, all my clothes are still stained too.
Yeah.
So part of like Amazing Race is like the training before. How did y'all train for the race? Did y'all like?
They didn't have to train.
They just showed up and they're like, "We're here."
Did.
We did a little bit of running. I mean, a lot more than I usually do. So a lot for me. We did.
Like I was still so tired.
Yeah, we got maps. We were trying to learn those. We ended up never using it, but we learned how to use those just around town. And we got compasses and all that. We were doing like trivia games on our phone, just like simple stuff to get us going. But there's no real way to get fully prepared for the race. So obviously watching seasons, seasons we've already seen, but it's like watching film now. Like we're actually watching because we have to do it. So getting ready to do it.
It's enjoyable. Like when I started to like really watch it is like in preparation. I was like, okay, now this is stressful. This isn't even like getting this. And then you still never know what you're gonna get.
True.
One of the things I loved most about you boys and rewatching it again last night reminded me your hearts of gold was how you just cared for Sean and Michelle too. This just in helping them up that challenge. That was huge for Sean, as we all know. That was just didn't do heights, and you could have been really obnoxious, and you were so caring and kind. And I just love you guys for that. This shows who you are at character.
We love you guys.
Yeah, we love you guys. Team Walla.
It was fun with Michelle and Sean too. That we had a good moment together.
That was.
Well, they're easy to love also.
Cool. What kind of I know you touched on family, like larger Amazing Race family, but what now that it's after the show, what has it looked like? Have y'all met up with people? Like you got to go to the New York premiere party. How's it been being part of the bigger family?
It's been cool. We've even met some Survivor people, but it's been I feel like I didn't even realize like how deep it ran. Like I mean, you only have an idea till like you actually do it, and then you're getting reached out by all these insanely nice people who actually just like care and want to reach out and like get to. I don't know. It's just been so cool. I was nothing I could have ever expected.
Yeah, I mean the whole Amazing Race. I mean, besides our cast alone, like people on the other seasons, just older seasons, reaching out and just just about our journey and advice and just I don't know. Just it was so cool getting all that support. And then I guess like Bailey was saying too, like. I didn't even realize it almost is a little bit bigger. It's kind of a CBS family, everyone from all these other shows are all intertwined, and it's really cool to be a part of. Honestly, I'm looking forward to it and be definitely tuning in to watch a lot more now. So,
well, I think you three boys would qualify for the Bachelor, wouldn't you?
No, Mom, not the Bachelor.
Who's gonna sign up?
Yeah, they can put us on
Big Brother or one of those.
The challenge,
The challenge, really, Danny? The challenge. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Somebody would have us, yeah.
Well, we're open to anything, so.
True. That's awesome. Well, Anthony and Bailey, where can people find you on social media, and where are like the fun updates for you, or what is coming next for you?
So definitely our Instagrams. Mine is Bailey Smith with like 3 S's, and Anthony.
Mine's Anthony R, and then it's 2 S's Smith.
And yeah, we have a little renovation page. It's kind of been stale at the moment, but there'll be more stuff coming in the future. But Smith Twin Renovations, check it out.
Yeah.
Right now it's under the works again, but
yeah, we've been crazy busy, but we're getting back to it. So
life's kind of insane right now, as you guys would know.
Yep, it's been fun.
And you
So-
guys look like you went on a bicycle ride the other day. Was that just recently with Mary?
Oh no, that was just he has
yeah.
electric bikes, so
I bought-
he lets me borrow one.
I knew.
But
thing I just-
were you guys all together with Mary and Chris recently, or no?
oh,
That was
Mary,
just
they came like a couple months back though.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, but yeah, that was fun when they came. They visited as well, and that was
Yeah.
fun.
took them to some of our spots.
Did some
Very
beaching.
cool.
Yeah.
that's
But you
awesome.
guys have to
Awesome.
come next again.
Yeah, you're next. I have a
This time
couch
we
right
can
here.
spend-
I think
we
it's
can
big enough
spend
for both
longer.
of you, but
Yeah.
Or y'all need to get out to San Diego. But regardless,
Yeah.
like I'm excited for more hanging out. I'm excited for what this journey entails. But appreciate y'all jumping on, and to all the viewers at home, thank you so much for tuning in to Read the Clue recap. Catch us next week. We shall see what happens.